Look at that lovely hay. That is a thick crop. Man, oh man. I love it. It's only like 20 acres or so, but it's going to be a lot of loads. Focus. I don't think they know where they're going. What are you doing? Communication is key. It's a little dry. I guess the outside rounds were cut a day earlier. I don't know if you can see that. It's not as green as that, which means it's dry. I hope we don't plug the harvester. I really do. Alright, he's around the corner now. Hopefully they can get on the same page and get going. Wow, that is dry. That's almost dry hay. Man. Oh, dusty. That just made it worse. Got my dumper there. And just about full. We're going, I think like 3 miles down the road or so. From the farm here to the customer. I think he's going to take a little bit of the outside round and then take some of the middle and just do it by shots, because otherwise the harvester's going to gum up. And then we'll plug, and it's no fun for anybody. And those are thick rows. So what happens is alfalfa grass has a lot of sugar content. It's high sugar content. So when it gets too dry, the moisture becomes gummy. And then it sticks to the metal in that pipe up there. And it just slowly starts to plug up. And it doesn't matter how much horsepower you have. If your chute is sticky, you can't push it up there. Yeah, this is like hay. Getting full. Oh, it's hard to see. Gotta drive so slow just to try not to plug the harvester. We're back for more. Just in time the way it looks. So you still got the outside round to do there. He's done one outside round, but there's two. But he's doing a middle row just to clean his pipe out again. I'll show that more up close when we're not chopping here. We're just crawling. We're going 2 miles an hour. Not even. Normally we're going 4 or 5 miles an hour. Or even more. So that tells you how heavy it is. Because that's still a pretty steady stream coming out of the top there. If you were shoveling that with a fork, well, then you'd be forking it. But if you were forking that and trying to fork at that speed, you'd be huffing and puffing pretty good, I think. Oh, that was close. Did you see how it started to fall down instead of coming out in a nice stream? That means the harvester got such a big lump, it slowed the machine down. There's basically a kind of like a fan that throws the feed or grass up the pipe, and when the machine's RPMs drop too far, that fan isn't going as fast and it doesn't create enough speed to fire it up that pipe properly. That was close. It's actually almost too heavy to be nice. It's nicer when the rows are just a little lighter and you can be more consistent instead of... Right now we're going 1 mile an hour. That's a little slower than normal. I'd show you where we're delivering to, but that customer's pretty fussy, so I won't give him any reason to get grumpy. I'll show you the unloading and packing process in our bunks in a couple of weeks when we do second cut. Actually, it'll probably only be about a week. That hay is coming back with a vengeance. That is for sure. It's just about full. It's funny, you heap it up. Yep, the blinkers just came on. That flashers, that means that they're full. I better go. I'm in a haystorm. Wow. Man, that's crazy. We're stopped. They hit some metal or a rock or something. Then you just gotta pull everything out of the front of the mouth of the harvester. If it's big, you'll find it. If it's little, it'll just fall out underneath. There's a little gap there just for that reason. If we can't find it and there's a problem spot, we just pick it up and toss it aside. There's no point in trying to fight it. Alright, give me a dust show. There it is. That is chopping hay at its finest. It's actually not good for the tractors. Air filters sucking in all that dust. But it's kind of fun to watch. And they hit something again. So Dave gets to jump out, root around in there again. Okay, I have tried to do this twice already, so third time's a charm. I kind of ran out of words the first few times. I don't know why, particularly, but oh man, that was like a week and a half ago already. But we were chopping some really dry hay, so I thought I'd give you a quick overview of the chopper or harvester and explain what I meant by the trouble that it causes when it gets too dry. Okay, take 3, action. So this is the Hungry Monster. It's got a 430 or 450 horsepower Mercedes powering the whole thing. You sit up there to drive it. Let's start at the front of the machine here. The product gets picked up by that. This auger pulls it all to the middle here. And then those fearsome looking feed rolls. You get, say you get 10 feet wide by 6 inches thick coming into this, what is that, like 28-inch opening or something? Well, there's rolls in there that compress it into a firm mat so that you have right in there, there's a nice firm mat shooting into the knives. And I'll show you that, the knives at some point, but basically it's a giant drum with knives attached to it, and it's spinning really quickly, and it acts like a shear bar essentially. So the thicker or the firmer that mat is compressed, the easier it is for those knives to cut through. But that wasn't actually the problem with it being dry. So now we get to the back of the machine. Down in there is where the impeller is, and that is basically a fan that blows the feed up, and it goes up through that pipe, triangle shape, and then that white up there is a spout, and it can rotate every way, of course. And then it comes down out here, and this will be over the wagon. You can see right now, that's all pretty shiny and clean. That's the way you want it. It's the texture it's the texture of the surface that's important. So like that, shiny and smooth, it's like, well, obviously a very polished surface, and the feed just slides easily. But when it's dry, the sugars in the grasses make this. And the dust and the sugar water in the grass, alfalfa, stick together and dry into this. So obviously the feed, doesn't matter how hard you throw it, it won't slide down the spout when you have this surface. When you have this surface, it slides easy. It doesn't slide at all. So then you start to plug the machine, just because of the coating that is building up in there. So when the alfalfa is still green, it's way wetter, so there's enough moisture to keep that cleaned out. But as the alfalfa dries, just close the shield there. As the alfalfa dries, it becomes tacky, just like varnish or paint. When you first apply it, it's easy to spread it around because it's damp, wet. But as half an hour later, it would not be easy to brush it around anymore, just because of the drying factor. So that's kind of what happens with the haylage too. When there's not enough moisture there anymore, then it has no way to clean out the pipe anymore. I think that's about the best example I can think to explain it right now. This shop is a mess. Oh well. Someday we might clean it. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of clarify that a little bit. And hopefully that makes sense. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.